Hey, what's up, guys? It is the Gloob, yeah, Gloob Starcraft guy. I haven't done this in a really long time, since like the fall. I did like 2, then my mic broke, and I got lazy, and finals, and then laziness, and yeah. But I was actually so compelled by a recent TL thread that I saw by Meavis. It's also on Reddit. I'm sure some of you guys saw it, about TvP Mech being super aggressive with Hellions. Which is something I'm definitely into because I really hate playing super long games, even though I only ever play Mech. Which is, I guess, silly. If I wanted to play fast games, why don't I just cheese? Well, I do cheese sometimes. But yeah, so the basic deal here is you're gonna go gas first into Reactor Hellions. You're gonna get a starport up, and then you're just gonna be dropping Hellions, scooting in and out with Hellions, doing all kinds of things with Hellions, and kind of just the game plan is to kill a bunch of probes, line them up so that your big scary mech death ball can't be stopped by anything that the Protoss has, because really all the Protoss has that can kill mech is expensive stuff, like Immortal, Archon, High Templar, Tempest, death ball, weird things. But yeah, if you kill enough probes, they can never get that, and you'll be happy and you'll win games. Fortunately, I won this game, but I played horribly. I think I made like 30 SCVs total, which is terrible. But I killed enough and held enough to get the win. So this is like my second time trying to build, and I did it really bad. And Meavis, I'm sorry if I'm disappointing you right now. But yeah, so one of the things I learned recently that you can do is, instead of just sending these 2 Hellions straight there, you cannot scout like these proxy areas with the SCV. You can do it with your first 2 Hellions, which is, I guess, better. But yeah, so the basic deal is you want to kill a lot of probes. You get this meta back up, you go into a tech lab. I'm not going to focus too much on the build order, just because the build order is very well laid out in the TL thread, which I'll link in the description, and everything's really explained there. I just wanted to put a little video where I talk through some of the things that I was doing, because I don't know, it doesn't exist. I mean, Meavis has a bunch of replays, but I thought it would be fun to just go through and do this. Also, I've really wanted to do one of these, but I didn't have a good enough reason, and this build is beautiful and perfect, and I love it. So, I thought that was good enough reason. This Oracle probably should have got less kills. I think it got 5 in the end. But things happen. These Widow Mines were supposed to be for there, but they were rallied up here. So yeah. So my first drop, sort of effective. I killed 10 probes. He got successive use with that Oracle. And I've gotten a fair amount of what he's doing. I assume there's a starport, obviously, because there's the Oracle. But this medevac and these 3 Hellions become huge, like ridiculous. It's kind of scary how much they end up actually doing. But yeah, so this is kind of how the game goes. He just sits with this kind of army, and lets me kind of do the things that I want to do. Like I said, I'm floating 600 minerals right now. I have horrible multitasking ability. Luckily, I get that Oracle. But yeah, if you have pretty good macro and pretty good multitasking ability, which I don't. I'm bad. But if you can multitask pretty well, I think this is probably one of the absolute best mech builds you can do, to make use of that ability. Because I mean, like, I'm all right at it, but I can really see where people would just get destroyed with these Hellions. So you go into Banshee. That's one of the things you do. You get more factories, obviously, as you are going into mech. You do eventually expand. This isn't like an all-in or anything of that sort. This guy over here, he's getting his stalkers, which is good. Getting the defense up. I do not want to I obviously don't want to, you know, go over here and die to 3 stalkers. So that's good, you know, he's protecting himself for now. But I did a good amount of damage. He did have his Nexus up before I had my command center, like significantly before. But I'm not terribly behind on SCVs, although, I mean, I haven't built an SCV in like 3 minutes now. That's just because my macro is not good, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point though. Like, this build is so good that even if your macro and multitasking are as bad as mine, you can still make things happen. Just with fairly okay decision making. So I'm starting to get Banshees, starting to get tanks, keeping the Hellions going. I forget to get Blue Flame, which I think is a big mistake on my part. Just because probes would be going down way quicker. But yeah, so I go in here, I notice these stalkers, and I'm like, okay, fine, you're gonna be safe. But I know he's on 2 base. I know he doesn't have way too many workers. I know it's pretty reasonably even because I've done a fair amount of damage with my 10 worker kills. And so yeah, I kind of just wait for an opportunity here. There's not, you know, I can't really get in here because he has this. Can't really get up here because he has that. So I kind of wait, poke around, make sure there's no third, make sure there's no like funny business going on. I want to go over here and see if I can get in, just scoot around and get some probes, but I see that I can't. But I do see 2 sentries, so I'm like, hey, I'll kill 2 sentries, and then I'll leave and lose nothing. So that's nice, that's fun. I think keeping the watchtower is really important because you wanna know if this army moves out so that you can go and get some more probes. But so now, oh, not that one. I've killed, and that was 200 gas worth. I think sentries, that's how much they are, right? Yeah, that was 200 gas worth. And I didn't lose anything, so that's good. He F2s, I think. That's why he pulls these. But yeah, if you see a window like this, go for it. I mean, there's no reason, there's nothing here to stop me. So I go in and I get more. And I guess he's going to clear that expansion, but it's just, this just gets bad for him real quick. Now he's lost 20 workers, 21 workers for two Hellions. He's killed 2 Hellions. I've killed 21 workers. So that's a trade I'll take any day, really. Yeah, I'm not as bad as my 27 SCV count is. It's still higher than his just because I've been killing so much. But yeah, so you just, when you see those opportunities, and he leaves it open again. He F2s again, I assume. Otherwise, I'm sure he probably would have left those there. And he could have left them, but he pulls them, and I go in one more time, and I get even more kills. Now I see him because I had that watchtower. I did see this coming. I was like, okay, let's get, you know, set up. Let's get into a fairly good position while still killing workers, which is, you know, I go up 34 workers killed, 35 workers killed, 35 workers killed overall. Now he's significantly behind, and I know pretty much that if I hold this, I can win. And I do know that I can hold this because, you know, these 3 siege tanks, for when I get this one out, are gonna just destroy the stalkers, and the Banshees are gonna wreak havoc on the Immortals. And this, I at this point I'm like, okay, this is kind of over. I kind of win, even though I haven't really been macroing well, even though I've been doing, you know, making a lot of mistakes in terms of macroing and not multitasking as well as I could. I do know that this is kind of done. I did this just because I thought it was cute. Just build two little engineering bays to make them go through a little choke. I don't know if that's worth it or if it works. I don't think it really mattered, but I want to do it anyways. So yeah, at this point, you know, he loses all his stalkers pretty easily. I lost 1 tank and a handful of Hellions, and then this is kind of over. From here, I do get called a dirty name here. Where is it? Somewhere. Nice map hack. I've been getting called a map hacker a lot with this build actually, and I think that's just in virtue of always having the dropship, the medevac full of Hellions, because yeah, I don't know, people just like leave holes, and then if you find them, they're like, you're a map hacker. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was semi-useful. I hope I didn't totally embarrass myself or Meavis's build. And I hope you learned a little something. But this is definitely very cool. I definitely recommend definitely check out the guide. If you managed to watch this, definitely check out the guide. It's very descriptive, very detailed. It tells you, how to counter different unit compositions and everything else. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and next week I should be doing one on TvZ. I hope to be doing these more often, all mech stuff, just because they're fun, and they help me too. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys.